So there's another, it's more about the question you just reminded me, because sometimes we cannot differentiate work from personal life that clearly. And then we all have ups and downs. So if in my personal life, I'm not so happy with my personal life. So it has nothing to do with my work. But then it got affected for my working performance or my mood toward the work. Maybe it's not that I'm not satisfied with my colleagues or my boss. I'm okay with them. But on the other hand, I'm not okay with my personal life. So I brought that thing into work. And then at that point, how can I differentiate whether I'm not satisfied with the work or I'm not satisfied with my other part of life? Because it's easy for you sometimes to go through that.
I think you answered the question in many ways, because if you're able to say, I have problems outside of work right now, then attribute that to your mood.
Right.
But I think you bring up a very good point, that it's very difficult for us to compartmentalize our lives.
Right, right.
We're not made that way as human beings. So often I hear stories of people that were kind of rising stars in their companies.
Right.
And then a family situation happens.
Right, right.
And it creates so much stress on them that they lose their composure at work, they yell at their boss, they lose their job.
I see.
And now they've got problems.
Right, right, right.
Because of that.
So what's your advice for managing the work and life balance better in that perspective?
I think when there are problems, whether it's at work or at home,
the
first step is to be able to acknowledge it.
Right,
don't hide from it, don't pretend it's not there, because
Yes.
it's only going to get worse.
Right.
And then the second step is ask for help.
Which means?
So that might mean at work, you might ask your boss or your colleagues for help, saying, I'm struggling with this, can I get some help? I have too much work. I need some help prioritizing.
So for some people who are afraid or have the habit of not wanting to ask for help so openly,
right?
How can you help them to change that long-term habit of?
They'll learn one way or the other.
I see.
It's either going to be painful,
right,
because they're going to make major mistakes.
Yeah.
But that happens with all high potentials.
Right.
Because when you're a high potential and you're a high performer, people give you more work.
Right.
Because you're good. And you see that in any organization, any culture. They give you more and more and more until you get more than you can handle.
Right.
And you have to learn how to say no and learn how to prioritize and set expectations.
Right.
And so that's very important. And then on the personal side, asking for help means being able to acknowledge there's a problem and asking for appropriate assistance, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a family, but not internalizing it.
Right.
Because if you internalize it, you run the risk it comes out at work.
Right.
And that won't work well.
Right. Definitely.